Hey guys, it's Slave to the Games, and I'm back here with another episode of Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. Now, you may be asking, Seth, why are you wearing the same sweater you were wearing yesterday? Well, my clothes didn't completely dry when I was washing them, after obviously putting them in the dryer. So I went to do the laundry, and apparently one time wasn't enough, so had to redo. So here we go, wearing the same sweater I was wearing yesterday. Please don't hate me for it. It sucks, but it's okay, because then all of my clothes, literally every single piece, will be completely ready. Thank you guys for stopping by. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, or follow, depending on the platform you're watching this on. And if you want to join the Discord, you can join it through the link below. And if you want to take that extra mile to become a Patreon member or donate to me, which will go straight towards all my gaming needs and happiness and equipment, etc., which is completely optional, you can through the Patreon link below. And then also, remember guys, I am only 124 subscribers away from hitting 1,000 and 200 hours away from hitting the required need that I need for being able to apply for partner. Let's get this going, guys. Obviously, this is the YouTube partnership. I am much farther away from Mixers, and I'm not even going to apply again for Twitches. So, without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, what were we gonna do last time? Tamika, right? We were gonna do Tamika, right? Well, wait. We didn't even decide. Before I do Tamika, I want to do Somebody's Watching Me. But I like the Tamika one. But I like that one. We'll do the Somebody's Watching Me. Last time you failed to resolve the situation with your stalker. You have to get a handle on that one way or another. You're in your haven when the intercom rings. Answering cautiously, you hear an older male voice. Hello? I'm calling because a friend asked me to come by and offer you my services. Who is this? It's not important. The man sounds strangely excited, breathing hard. I need something to go on. She told me not to talk about these things in public. I know you're one of them. Please, it's alright. I don't mind. You can drink with me if you understand what I mean. Hey, what's up, Matthew? How you doing? A man you've never seen before is paying a visit to an apartment not many people know of, offering for you to feed from him. I'm getting creeped out. I'm so sorry. Don't worry, I mean no harm. Glad you're doing good. Silence. A minute passes and you hear a knock on the door to your haven. You cautiously open the door. A stranger looks at you sheepishly. He's in his 30s, dressed in a clean business suit. He looks moderately successful, someone you could meet at an investment bank. I'm sorry, I didn't want to intrude, so that's why I called from downstairs. Please leave. I don't want to see you around here again. And to whoever sent you, they can come see me themselves instead of sending lackeys. Please, feed for me. It's alright, really. The man sounds desperate. Whatever this is about, you want no part of it. I'll break your face if you don't turn around and disappear the way you came. See, I've been noticing this. Hey, what's up, Lucid? I've been noticing this. The further I've gotten to this game, the more issues have been popping up with the HUD. It's messing up when you're supposed to, well, you're not supposed to, but it's messing up when I do the whole, this is the voice I use when I'm talking, etc., narrating the thing. But it's messing it up, because this is supposed to be showing me, with my name Seth right here, my character right here, and then saying that. Please, I'm sorry. The man turns around and runs down the hallway. He dashes into the stairwell and you hear him running down. Not a brave man, this guy. You left to wonder what this was all about. Who was this guy and why did he show up trying to offer you his blood? That was it? I need rest? Damn it, I should have chose her. Knock, knock, knock. You ask who's there, but you don't know if the sheriff of New York City would play along. When you open the door, you see him toying with the car keys he's holding in his hand. Ready to go, fledgling? You don't feel like it, but you give him a nod nevertheless. Excellent. Stay close. He leads you down to the vehicle he's parked nearby. Once again, he takes the wheel, literally and figuratively. Everything inside is just the way you remember it, down to the rearview mirror reflecting the intense stare of your guide. However, the trip itself feels notably different. The last time Cater drove you around, he was forcefully dragging you away from your old life. This time, he's pulling you back into it. All the things you wanted to say to Jessica keep running through your head. Let me tell you how it's going to go. As I said, I've arranged a meeting between you and your kin. It's going to take place somewhere you should know very well. I'll watch over you too from a safe distance to make sure you adhere to the rules. You should know this very well, but I'll reiterate it just so you can can't say whatever I didn't warn you. I'm going to have to change something because this is messed up. I'm going to have to change this to... 1 second, guys, watching this. Feel free. Whoop. Past. There we go. Let's try this. See if it changes everything. Let's try this. There we go. That worked. Got it. Boss man, you need to do more side stories. Yeah, see, that's what I was trying to do, but I wanted to do Hope and then Tamika and then do the side stories. Because I want to be able to complete those and then also be able to do everything else as well. I don't really know, like, what I could do without progressing the nights, etc. Don't do anything that would violate the Masquerade. Don't establish some secret routes of contact. I will know. Do treat it as the last time you two will meet. Take this chance to wrap everything up. Here's your story. You're fine. Found yourself at a crossroads. Decided to radically change your life and move out of the city. The subway is unbearable. The rent is too high. They've heard it all. Yeah, I really want to focus on getting, like, Hope and Tamika's story done, because I at least want to complete those, since I can't complete everything, and then I'll focus on side stories and stuff like that as well. You were ready to leave New York for good when you heard those absurd rumors about taking your own life, so you've decided to set the record straight. He gives you a knowing look. That was completely the wrong voice, but that's fine. That's why I don't do voices. And close the curtains on your relationship, once and for all, on your terms. There we go. That's the voice I used. The car makes a sudden turn. I'll leave the finer details to you. Just be so kind and don't make me regret it. You can sense he's going out of his way for you, but doesn't try to force you into gratitude by stating it plainly. If you know, you know. He'll see if you are worthy of his aid. We're here. Take a look around and recognize your destination. He was right. It is a familiar place. It's that club. The one you met your future sire in while trying to forget about Jess. This is where they last saw poor Seth. Who knows whatever might have happened to him? One G.SKILL was trying to find out. She got a tip from an anonymous source saying that you might appear here tonight. Wouldn't want to disappoint the lady, would you? She's apparently quite distraught. He turns off the engine and relaxes comfortably in his seat. You silently leave the car and head straight for the club. The last time you were headed this way, you still had a pulse. Feels almost nostalgic. This party going started in some rookie DJs trying to read the crowd. You begin to look for Jess. You wonder what the first thing you say to her should be. And remember, guys, since you're here, don't forget to drop those likes. Figurative and literal love and attention. That's exactly what I enjoy. What am I gonna do? Yeah, that should work. You The music is pulsing and there are good vibes in the air. You spot a girl hurrying to the bathroom with a nosebleed. The smell is faint, but it gets you in the mood to have some fun. However, Gator indicated that he's got a pair of eyes around here somewhere. Better stick to the plan. A stupid idea pops into your head. If you meet her and she says, "I want to be with you again," what would you do? What's done is done. Best not to dwell on it. By now, it feels like you've explored all the places Jess could have been. It's getting frustrating. Grab the cheapest drink they have from the bar. A tall blonde girl in a stylish skirt smiles at you from behind heart-shaped glasses. You smile back, but this is no time for the heart to guide the hand. You walk past her, back to your duty. You mimic taking a sip of your drink. God, you could have been having so much fun tonight. You could accidentally stumble into Jessica when you least expect it. She looks at you as if she's seen a ghost. Frees up trying to come up with something to say and failing. The last few years of your life flash before your eyes. Wait, what was the line you decided to open the conversation with? Before you remember, a powerful slap takes you out of your stupor. You stupid motherfucker! Well, damn. Guess she gets the first line. You realize you've spilled your drink all over your clothes. I've been so worried. I've been so fucking worried. Called everyone I knew to look for you, and you're just having fun clubbing. You thought it would be funny to drop all contact with everyone, pretend something happened to you. What, you wanted to see my reaction? She slaps you once again. You let some sort of disassociation set in and just watch the situation as it unfolds. I'll let everybody know you're okay, but don't you ever show yourself in front of me again. Well, this worked out well. I don't have to do anything. She turns her back on you and disappears into the crowd, walking towards the exit. What did you miss? 5 episodes? Basically, right now, I just met my ex-girlfriend, and I was gonna deal with her, either by killing her or convincing her that I'm completely fine and she's leaving me alone. But, that kind of solved itself, I think. You look around, you notice the heart-shaped glasses girl chuckling in the distance. You're no longer in the mood to party. Guess you'll follow Jessica's lead and leave. Better not keep the sheriff waiting. Well, at the very least, you can say this. She still cares. That's nice. Back to Gator's car. Once you close the door, he instantly puts his foot on the gas pedal. Walking off the pitch with no regrets. Said everything you had to say? You speak up without thinking. Yeah, she said she'll call off the search. Getting her to accept that it was over took some harsh words, but deep down, I think she knew it was time to say farewell once and for all. She's a little shaken up, but she'll live. You spot a playful spark in Cater's eyes. I bet he was watching the whole damn thing. You took care of it like a man, did you? Very good. Ah, man, he knows. The people we knew in life have this tendency to briefly reappear in our unlives. One night, let's say 20 years from now, she might spot you on the street. You won't have aged a day from now, and even though she'll tell herself that can't be you, she'll be jealous. And if you look happy, she'll feel regret over what could have been. So, for the sake of the night, your paths cross once again. I hope you'll search for your own happiness. The car speeds up to cross an intersection. Before the light turns red, you give Cater a good, hard look. Who are you, and what have you done with Cater Al Samas? Messed that up, I know. At first, he seems confused about the question, but after a while he gets it and chuckles softly. Then he takes on a serious, slightly sorrowful expression. Don't suck up to me, kid. Mr. Bad Guy is still here, and without a doubt, he will go back to decapitating suckers like you anytime now. The car starts slowing down. We're here. You look out the window and see your haven. Take care. I'll see you around. Just pray I don't have to see you too often. You leave the car and start walking to your haven, thinking about Cater. Can't say you're fond of him, or with the welcome he gave you and all, but after tonight, you can't say you aren't either. You're gonna need some more time to understand him, that's for sure. Okay, now we can do Tamika! Woohoo! Tapping on the window, a small grayish bird flying off. A small piece of paper left on the windowsill. Prospect. ASAP. Tam. Remember guys, thanks for all stopping by. I enjoy your company. Hope you're enjoying the story as well. Exactly what we just read. Third time's the charm, you think to yourself, as you once again cross the gate of Prospect Park and head for Tamika's haven. To your surprise, you find her out in the open, sitting on the lawn surrounded by a host of woodland creatures, birds and squirrels mostly. The critters each patiently await their turn as she flicks seeds at them. It looks almost whimsical, in a twisted sort of way. Hell of a week, huh? How are you holding up? Well enough, all things considered. She scatters the remaining seeds onto the grass and hops to her feet. I've been doing some digging. The Inquisition has a safe house up in Manhattan. I think that's where they're keeping him. The scarred one, I mean. I want to pay them a visit. Kill that thing and as many of those Psy bastards as I can along the way. Attacking a government safe house? Correct me if I'm wrong, but wouldn't that be considered a breach of the Masquerade? Yeah, and that's the least of our worries. Throwing a legion of armed goons standing in our way and an all-powerful vampire as the cherry on top. Look, I'm not stupid. I know it's risky as hell, and I'm well aware I might not be coming back. Still, it's something I have to do, with or without your help. Ah, shit. Oh, what the hell? Oh, what the hell? Who wants to live forever, right? I'm in. I want to live forever. I want to live forever, but I know that if I don't fight in some occasions, I'm not going to be able to live forever. I need allies. Me too. He emerges from the shadows a mere few feet away from you. Son of a gun finally managed to sneak up on you. Tamika eyeballs him as he gets closer. You've seen that look before. She's clearly asserting her position, but this time it comes off as a formality rather than an actual challenge. How long have you been there, Raul? Long enough. I'm still not buying that whole scared one bullshit, but taking a bite out of the Inquisition's collective ass is just too good to pass up. I want in. Who are you going to believe if not your sister? Why would she lie to you? I never said she was lying. More like exaggerating just enough to keep me away from the action. Because, you know, little old me couldn't possibly look after himself. Now, can we move this along? I'm itching to kill me some Psy fucks. I don't know. I don't know if I should take him. I mean, we don't really get on, like, with each other, but I mean, it's not like I've seen anything to say he's a bad person. We could use the help, but at the same time, me being able to have an option to say you're a loose cannon makes me think he's a loose cannon. What do you guys think? Throw your opinions out. I'll leave this to you guys. I'm fine with either taking him or not. Hug it out. We'll see. I'll leave this up to you guys. We'll take it to a vote. Majority wins. I'll take this time to drink some water. You know, clear my throat and all that. Give about like a minute because of delays. Then after that, we'll move on. If it was me, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, if I had to come up to it, like, in my own answer, like I normally roleplay myself, because I do, I definitely lean for, I guess I would use the help, but I'm really conflicted if he's really gonna mess things up. So I might just go with Tamika and let her decide. I think at the end, if I was playing it by myself, I wasn't streaming and I wasn't trying to engage, I would probably leave it to Tamika. But I also am fine with any answer. Like, it doesn't really matter which choice, which is the only reason why I'm really asking what do you guys think? Invite him and throw him to side. Okay, so we got about like 15 more seconds before I click one, and if I do click one, I'll choose Tamika. You have not seen past this point. Oh, look at this. When in doubt. Okay, so it seems like everybody's going with C, so we're gonna let Tamika decide this, guys. Tamika, you got an opinion? Guess I knew who the elf is around here. God damn it! What a dick! I'm just trying to be nice to her. You should come with us. He's got the right to be there, to see the scarred one with his own eyes. Plus, my brother can be a pain in the ass, but he's one hell of a fighter. There you go. Tam seal of approval. It's settled then. Let's go. Fucking finally. And with that, you leave the relative safety of Prospect Park, steeling yourself for things to come. God, I hate this dick! As you get close to your destination, you get the sneaking suspicion that Tamika's been pulling your leg. Following her lead, you take a turn from Broadway into Fort Tryon Park. It doesn't seem to make sense, you think to yourself. There's only one spot between here and the Hudson River, but it can't be, can it? Sure enough, as the stone facade of the cloisters comes into view, Tamika motions at you to keep out of sight. How the hell is this well-known tourist trap a hideout for the Second Inquisition? Wait, isn't this place a tourist attraction? Only during the day. At night, it serves as a staging ground for the Inquisition. Yeah, they are a gangrel. If my sources are to be trusted, and they usually are, they brought him here for what they call processing. Doubt they'll keep him here for long, though. If we want to get to him, it's now or never. As if on cue, a group of armed guards walk out of the museum, pushing a gurney with a large steel container on top of it. As they wheel it out into the open, a truck approaches. The operatives start preparing to load the crate onto the vehicle. You scan the area, trying to take a head count. Tamika beats you to it. I count at least 7, probably more inside. We should do this quietly and take them out one by one. Raoul frowns. I say we go in guns blazing. Figuratively speaking. If there's more inside, let them come. The more the merrier. See, this is exactly why I didn't want to take him. This is exactly why I was confused, and I was like, maybe I shouldn't. God damn it. If he fucks this up, I swear to God. Fucking it, I'm not gonna talk to them. Tamika's right. We should get in quietly. Take them out one by one. Tamika nods in silence. Ugh, fine. Then let's do this already before you two bore me to final death. You split up, aiming to cover as much ground as possible. Sticking to the shadows, you advance, keeping track of one another's progress. You hardly even notice as Tamika takes out the first guard. Not a peep out of him. Trying to keep up, Raoul kills the one to your left. He's sloppy, takes his sweet-ass time bleeding the guy out. With his dying breath, the man lets out a yelp, drawing the attention of one of his comrades. With the guards fast approaching, you ponder your options. As the guards walk by, you leap out of the shadows and use the sharpest weapon you have on you, your fangs, to slice his throat open. With his windpipe severed, he lets out a silent gurgle as he expires. Carefully, you lay his dead body on the dirt. Looking to the side, you notice Raoul looking back at you. He nods, looking almost semi-impressed. 3 down, 4 to go. You keep a steady pace, moving across the courtyard, picking off the guards one by one. Tamika does her part, 3 to go. Raoul gets messy again, at least this time he's quiet. With only 2 of them left, you pick one for yourself and gesture at one of your fellow ferals to take care of the other one. Tamika's quieter, but rolls closer. Which one will you choose? You wave your hand at Tam, pointing at her final target. She nods and starts making her way towards him. Suddenly, by virtue of sheer luck, he turns around just as she's about to pounce. His scream is quickly muffled, but still loud enough for the very last guard to hear. As all 3 of you approach him, the dire reality of the situation hits him like a ton of bricks. Paralyzed with fear, he keeps shifting his aim from you to Tamika to Rawl. He is severely fucked, and he knows it. And since you're standing closest to him, you might as well do the honors. I am not gonna feed on this guy because I do not know what's in his blood. For all I know, they could be taking something that could paralyze a vampire or kill him. Sorry, Matt. Don't wanna. You walk over to the quivering mess that mere minutes ago thought himself the toughest of the tough. Before he can react, you slap the gun out of his hands, lean in, and smile. Boo! He jumps, almost comically, and starts running toward the front gate. He actually gets pretty far before Rawl catches up to him and breaks his spine with a crack. With the SI operatives taken care of, you turn your attention to the containers sitting in the middle of the courtyard. Using your combined strength, you make quick work of the steel door. As you walk in, the moonlight from behind you illuminates a twisted figure huddled on the floor. It's hard to believe that the thing lying before you, beaten and tortured within an inch of its unlife, is the same creature you fought back at the cemetery. What the fuck is that thing? It's what happens when you lose control, when you let the beast take over. His lips move silently, as if searching for the right words. He looks to you, then turns to his sister as if waiting for a sign. For a moment, Tamika just stands there. She looks down at the scarred one, the once fearful boogeyman whose very mention could strike terror in the hearts of her tribe, now reduced to a whimpering pile of flesh. Finally, she turns to you with a look of childish innocence mixed with confusion. Then she looks back at the scarred one. You can tell she's lost. Tam, what the hell are you waiting for? Let's kill this thing and get out of here. I was gonna kill it myself if I could. This is your choice. I can't make it for you. She turns to you with a look of pride mixed with desperation. I'm not asking you to. Do it, Tam. You know he deserves it. Hell, looks like you'll be doing him a favor. He made his choice a long time ago, but it doesn't need to be your choice. Suddenly, the very air around you seems to thicken. You look over to Tamika. She's not quivering anymore. She walks up to the scarred one. The pitiful creature presses itself into the corner, in a desperate and futile attempt to crawl away. Without a word, she grabs the creature by the ears, sticking her claws into the sides of his head. She looks him dead in the eye. Her voice cuts through the air like cold steel. Stay out of my territory! In one fluid motion, she rips the chain off the wall. The pitiful shadow that was once the scarred one scurries off into the night. Rawl seems flabbergasted. Tam! What the hell are you doing? Carving her own path. Standing outside the steel container, the 3 of you take a moment to gather your thoughts. You look at one another, at the blood staining your hands, clothes, and faces. In the pale moonlight, it appears black and shiny, like a fresh ink stain on a fresh sheet of paper. Without another word, you head back toward the city lights. The journey back takes longer than it did than the other direction. With bits and pieces of the Second Inquisition still stuck to your clothes, you decide to play it safe by sticking to the back alleys and cutting through the darker corners of the city. Tamika stays several steps ahead. Both you and Raul are quite content to follow her lead. You could tell that these last few nights have taken a toll on her, but not necessarily in a bad way. She seems stronger somehow, confident, more in tune with herself. Soon, the awkward silence proves unbearable enough that you're willing to risk making small talk with Raul. Think she's gonna be alright? Yeah, I think so. She's just got to figure some stuff out. Our lineage, we have a special relationship with the beast. We can either let it control us, or become attuned to it. It's a constant struggle, marked with difficult choices. I think Tam just made one of them. Pondering what you just heard, the rest of the trip barely registers. To your surprise, you suddenly find yourself back at Prospect. Tamika keeps walking. She strides through the park gate like a queen of old, returning after a victorious conquest. You want to call out to her, but Raul stops you with a gesture. Not yet. Give her some time to process all this shit. She'll let you know when she's ready. And hey, you did alright. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're still an asshole, but yeah, thanks. And to you, I feel the same. He smiles at you. Wonders never cease. See you around. And with that, he follows in his sister's footsteps. A weird smile creeps onto your face as you meld into the New York night. Can we do something else? Nope, we gotta rest. I think that went well. Oh look, Tamika's already ready. Immediately after you enter the park, you can tell that something is wrong. An odd silence hangs in the air, like the silence from a choking victim after the fight leaves them. It doesn't take you long to find Tamika. You see her in the distance, leaning against a tree. Hey, what's up, Blue? How you doing? As you make your way toward her, she puts her finger to her lips. Only then do you notice the blood dripping from her side. You pick her up, letting her lean on you. She looks at you, her eyes wild with fear and rage. They're here! The Inquisition, they found us! Ah, fuck. Damn it. Raul, you drew them away. Saved my ass. He's still out there. We need to go. We need to help him. You're bleeding out. You're in no shape to mount a rescue. Screw you! A jolt of pain makes her almost bend in half. I'm going! You're barely standing. I won't let you get yourself killed. I'm going. You want to stop me? Might as well kill me now. Through sheer force of will, she manages to straighten herself up. Let's fucking do this. You head deeper into the park. Soon you stumble upon a set of innocuous barriers, service vehicles, black and yellow cautious tape, men in work suits that keep the civilians out of a certain area. It's not at all difficult for a creature of the night to avoid these. You'd almost think that their presence here is accidental. Once you spot black vans deeper in, you get a foreboding feeling. Ah, god damn it. Either both or one of them's gonna die. Tamika grabs your shoulder and squeezes. Hard. Hold up. There. You have to squint to see it. Two Psy scouts have taken tactical positions between the trees. There's no way in hell you'd have noticed them or hid in time if Tamika hadn't alerted you. Body armor, camo, night vision goggles, rifles, and semi-auto shotguns. Some equipment you can't even name. These guys mean business. There's no time. She's getting ready to pounce. Consequences be damned. You need to think and fast. Focusing your efforts, you head for the nearest opponent, letting Tamika take care of the other one. Your target falls before he's able to pull the trigger. A faint gurgle lets you know Tamika has done her part as well. You look over and see her standing over the rapidly cooling corpse of the soldier. She flicks her wrist, sprinkling the grass under her feet with the man's blood. It's a tie. All things considered, she seems to be doing alright. You keep on moving. Tamika gestures at the nearest patch of trees. Stick to the shadows. Take them one at a time. Sound advice. You take it to heart as you move on towards Tamika's haven. It doesn't take long for you to run across more of them. 3 operatives in full riot gear are running down a park alley, sweeping the area with barrel-mounted flashlights. Keeping very still and very quiet, you wait for them to approach. Tamika watches you from the bushes nearby, clearly waiting for to follow your lead. Okay. I'm gonna try to take 2 of them out because I don't think she's gonna be able to right now. Only because she's weakened right now. Otherwise, I would have let her. As the first victim marches past, you lunge at him, sinking your teeth in his neck. In one sudden motion, you rip a chunk of flesh from his throat. Quickly, before the other 2 can react, you run at them full speed. Just as you're about to take the first one out, Tamika pounces from the side, taking him out in an instant. As soon as she lands, she springs back towards the other one. A single slash of her claws is all it takes. The man's body falls to the ground. After a second or 2, his head follows. You raise an eyebrow at Tamika. She hits back with a roguish grin. 2 to 1. I mean, you know, fair's fair. I thought she wouldn't be able to handle it. No time to savor your victory. A savage yell rings out from across the tree line. You know that voice. Rawl. Tamika throws herself toward it came from. It's almost unbelievable how fast she moves considering the state she's in. You're barely able to keep up. Mere seconds later, you find yourself under the cover of rosebush, giving you a clear view of a nearby clearing. Off in the distance, you spot a group of gunmen converging. Slowly but surely, the circle of hunters closes in on a lone figure struggling on the ground. The figure lets out a pained roar. Looking closely, you realize it's Rawl. Caught in the same steel net you saw used against the scarred one. He struggles frantically, trying to break free. Oh no, am I gonna have to choose which one to save? With each passing seconds, step by step, the operatives close in around him. Driven by instinct, Tamika jerks forward to save her brother. She stops herself at the last moment, as if reminded of your presence. Okay, how do we do this? We go in fast and fierce. No messing around. Take him out as quickly as you can. She nods in approval. Sounds good. Move in like a 2-person SWAT team, staying low to the ground before you finally make your first move. The first 2 hunters meet their death. Unfortunately, it's enough for the others to notice your presence. So much for the element of surprise. As 2 men turn towards you with their fingers already on the trigger, another 2 approach you, stabbing at the air with their cattle prods. Gunmen or close combat hunters? A gunman. We'll take out the ranged first. Prioritizing long-range attackers, you make quick work of them, slashing both of their throats before they can fire. Meanwhile, Tamika does her share, as she swiftly avoids the cattle prods and moves in for the kill. 4 bodies hit the ground. 2 vampires are still standing. You both turn towards the last remaining foe. Driven by sheer desperation, the sole surviving soldier stands over Rawl and aims his semi-automatic shotgun at his head. It restreams the bot. It's just transferring stuff between it. It's taking the comments from Mixer, Twitch, and YouTube, and it's just sharing it between them. Tamika growls. You get Shatter to stand down. There's no room for mistakes here. See, I hope if I could choose let him go and we'll let you live, I hope that I can lie. I want to lie. Oh, don't worry, I'm not judging you. Listen to me. You let him go, we let you live. It's that simple. With shaking hands, the gunman looks at you, then Tamika, as if warning you to not come any closer. It's mostly for show. He's fucked and he knows it. You notice the man's grip loosen, clinging to hope. He's seconds away from giving up. 3, 2, 1. Suddenly, Raul springs up, grabbing the man's gun. As they struggle, you and Tamika lunge toward the gunman. A shot rings out. Raul's body collapses under the weight of the steel net, his head a gaping hole. No! No! God damn it! I mean, it's not like I hated him, I just didn't really like him. The operative looks at you, startled and confused. His eyes widen, seeing Tamika fly towards him, death incarnate. The man's screams echo across the park. She doesn't stop. Not when his intestines are spread on the grass, not when his eyes turn to bloody holes, not when his face turns to mush. Only when the scream stops. Only when it is certain he has met his cruel end. Only when does she stop. Only then does she stop. You watch in silence as she walks over to what's left of her brother. Falling to her knees, Tamika lets out a yell unlike any you've ever heard. It's as if she's been possessed by some wailing spirit. A banshee screams out into the sky. The scream echoes across the clearing until finally, it all goes quiet. With tears streaming down her face, she looks up at you. It's my fault! I put us in their sights. If it wasn't for me, he'd still... Clenching her fists, she pounds the ground in frustration. Fuck! It was his choice as well. He wasn't a child, he knew what could happen. She bows her head, pressing her chin into her chest. It's like she's processing what you just said, coming to terms with it. Finally, she looks up and gets back on her feet. She seems to have shed her despair, at least for the time being. Let's get out of here. Hastily, yet carefully, you make your way out of the park. You don't stop until you reach a nearby alleyway. There, in the relatively safety of the surrounding darkness, you take a moment to rest. Leaning against the wall, Mika presses her hand onto her wound. Fighting off the pain, she looks up at you. Let's split up. Less attention. Hunters, spotters on the rooftops. I'm not going anywhere. We need to get you patched up. I know a guy. We'll be fine. Knowing when it's time to fold, you nod and head toward the far end of the alley. After several steps, you look back to see how Tamika's doing. You smile, noting her absence. Having managed past a couple blocks without incident, you thank your lucky stars and blend into the night. New York City crowd. Hopefully Tamika's made it as well. All that stuttering. Can we do anything? Oh, we can. Look at this. Okay, no. Yeah, we'll go to the Sophie one to help her out. Okay, let's see. I don't know. Maybe I should do the nosy reporter? Or I could do help and cater with the secret associate investigating murders. I kind of want to investigate the murders. But I should probably help out my Haven person too. I'm gonna go with the Gumshoe in the Dark. A recent string of violent killings has the Red Hook district of Brooklyn on edge. Sophie mentioned, that Kader El Asamai has a secret associate investigating the murders. A Nosferatu neonate by the name of D'Angelo. If you help him out, he might be persuaded to form a lasting partnership. As you make your way down Clinton Street, the incessant hum of traffic gives way to the ominous silence of the waterfront. You stop to take in the familiar bouquet of the Hudson, and make all the more potent by your recently sharpened senses. Across the basin, the Red Hook grain terminal rears its rusty frame, Once a bustling industrial area, now a sleeping giant splayed out on the riverbank, forgotten, abandoned. Ah! Okay. Well, I don't think we're gonna be able to finish it anyways, right? Because we can only do 2, at least from what I heard. So, that was unfortunate. Conveniently so, especially for one of the hidden. Keeping to the shadows, you sneak closer to the dilapidated complex, making your way past hole-ridden silos and wobbly chain-link fences. By the time you reach the entrance to the main building, you can almost feel the rust particles making themselves cozy at the back of your throat. Not getting your hopes up, you give the door a slight nudge. To your surprise, it gives almost instantly. Looks like someone's been using it recently. Once inside, you find yourself in a large empty hall. Looking around, you can almost picture it, back in its heyday, stacked to the rafters with heavy machinery. You notice a set of stairs leading up to a mezzanine, most likely an office space. And then you see it, a faint light coming from one of the upper rooms. Looks like you're in luck. Quietly, with bated breath, you climb the steps and approach the dimly lit room. The door creaks open, revealing what looks like an old-timey detective's office, complete with crooked window blinds, an overflowing ashtray, and paper scattered across the wooden desk. Suddenly, it hits you. That nagging feeling. This is all too convenient, too inviting. Before you can react, the trap is already sprung. I do want his contacts though, but I was told that you can only have 2 full side stories in your coterie or something like that in like one playthrough. So my choice is Tamika and Hope. I already got Hope and I want to finish Tamika. Maybe I'll try to get this person as well. You know, maybe you can. I don't know. A plume of cigar smoke wafts over your shoulder. The barrel of a gun rubs against your spine. A raspy voice whispers in your ear. Let me guess. Took a wrong turn at the 3rd silo. Driven by a strange hunch, you open your mouth, you hear yourself talking, but the words are not yours. They seem to be coming from the deepest recesses of your memory, a movie you saw as a child. You don't know why, but it seems oddly appropriate. I know what you're thinking. This punk ain't got nothing on me. I'm sitting pretty on a loaded Colt detective special. 5 in the cylinder, 1 in the chamber, and I only need the 1. As corny as it all sounds, this stranger seems oddly receptive to your tough guy monologue, so you decide to bump it up a notch. Focusing your will, you boost your aura, filling the room with your presence. Your voice becomes smooth, oozing with a charisma, a regular Sam Spade. You yourself can't help but feel a sense of awe. Hopefully the stranger feels it too. But then there's that nagging feeling. What if there's more to this guy than he lets on? What if he's got me right where he wants me? Maybe I should hear what he has to say. Is that right? Yeah. So how about we drop the tough guy act and talk like adults? You can always shoot me once we're done. Yeah, I figured that. I wish there wasn't so many days so I could get through everything, because I'd like to get through everything without having to do another playthrough, at least in something like this. But I mean, it's fine. So quiet, and for a few 10 seconds, the room goes quiet. So quiet, in fact, you could swear you can actually hear the smoke swirling in the air. Finally, the stranger speaks again. You got a point there, kid. In a strange interplay of light and shadow, the stranger reappears behind his desk. Seeing him in his full, for lack of a better word, glory, you can't help but smirk. This is the dreaded Nosferatu? The way Sophie described them, you were expecting some grotesque monstrosity, but this guy, the clothes, the swagger, the hard-boiled detective routine, it all comes across as a bad joke. Still, when it comes to appearance, his lineage is undeniable. From 30 feet away, he could probably pass for a bum with a nasty skin condition. From 5 feet away, he looks like something made to be seen from 30 feet away. He leans back in his chair, casually pointing his gun at you. So, what brings you to my humble office? I'm here about the Red Hook murders. Yeah, that. Nasty business. What's it got to do with me? A lot, apparently. At least Coteries seems to think so. His expression sours. Not a name you want to casually toss around, kid. But hey, I get it. You're not some random schmuck who wandered in here off the street. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Name's D'Angelo. Gin. To my friends, so you can call me D'Angelo. Who I work for is less important. What I'm working on, however, isn't going so well. I think you could use some help. He gives you a look that's dirty, even by Nosferatu standards. Well, ain't you clever? D'Angelo lowers his shades. For a few seconds, he sits motionless with his eyes fixed on yours. Suddenly, he raises his gun, almost making you flinch. Almost. Then he twirls it into his shoulder holster in a flashy display that definitely looks like it was practiced. A lot. In front of a mirror. You see the Nosferatu's lips move, but the quiet mumbling clearly isn't meant for your ears. Listening in, you're able to catch snippets of his monologue. Sure, they seem to care. What was the end game? What was their angle? Everybody's got one. Even if they pretend like they don't. Especially then. What the hell? Maybe this town finally got me. He pauses, sits a fresh cigar between his crooked teeth. Maybe a good leap of faith is just what the doctor ordered. As he reaches into his pocket, you flash a lit lighter before his eyes. Or maybe you could use a healthy dose of unhealthy. For a split second, he gives you a puzzled look. Then he leans over to your lighter, puffing on the cig as it catches fire. A wry smile comes back to his lips. I like you, kid. You might look like a used car salesman, but there's just something about you. Tell you what. I was just about to head back to the crime scene, take a look around, refresh my notes. You can tag along if you want to. I could use an assistant. Someone to take notes and make wild assumptions for me to shoot down. Who knows? If you're any good, I might consider making this a long-term arrangement. Sounds good. Sure it does, kid. I'm the one who said it. Just one more thing. You still got me at a disadvantage here. Seems like you've done some digging on me. But with you, I barely scratched the surface. You catch my drift? Oh my god. Hell no, that ain't happening. You take those thoughts, Matthew, out of here. None of that happening. So answer me this. Who was it that sent you into my neck of the woods? Or in layman's terms, who do you work for? Sophie Langley. For the first time since you got here, the Nosferatu adopts a look of genuine surprise. His eyes wander for a moment, finally giving way to a crooked smile. So you're the one, huh? The fledgling the Tordor dame spared? Yeah, that makes sense. Don't think she appreciate you throwing her name around. Thanks for bringing up front, kid. Man, I don't know. I'm trying my best to survive, okay? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. She never told me not to say her name. One blink is enough for you to miss D'Angelo vanishing from his chair. Just when you're about to look around, he reappears right next to you. Up close. His smile is even more unnerving. Alright, moonlight's burning. Let's get cracking. With a certain fascination, you watch D'Angelo stumble his way across West Brooklyn. Oddly animated, incessantly scratching his face and neck, stopping every once in a while for a bout of mumbling narration. He's most certainly a sight to behold. Still, he seems to be getting around okay, and you take particular note of the fact that he seems to be choosing the darker, less frequented streets. There's definitely a method to his madness. Eventually, your leprous guide takes a sudden turn off Van Brunt Street and into a particularly dingy alleyway. The torn pieces of yellow police tape are a dead giveaway. This has to be the place. Well, here we are. Time for you to earn your stripes. This is where they found him. Drained dry, not a drop of blood in him. And before you ask, no, I didn't get to see the bodies, so I don't know if there was any bite marks. So, what can you tell me? You take a moment to examine the crime scene. Judging by the chalk outline on the pavement, the man was killed recently. Curiously, there doesn't appear to be a trace of blood or viscera. And you know the city's cleanup crew isn't that fast or that thorough. Looking up, you notice a spray-painted sign on the wall. It reads, "The blood speaks," in big, crooked letters. You look to D'Angelo. The Nosferatu gives you an expecting look. You point at the spray-painted sign. That looks like a clue. Sure, kid. Might as well start with the elephant in the room. What do you think it means? You give the sign a good hard look. It's not Rembrandt. The writing is jagged, clearly done in a hurry. It seems desperate. My thoughts exactly. It's as if someone wanted to get a message across, but was too scared to stick around and write the whole damn book. So we got our bridge version. And then, there's the blood, or lack thereof. And given that the murder was committed right here, and the victim didn't make a sound, we can therefore conclude that the killer was Kindred. Bingo! Only a Kindred could drain a human this quickly. This quietly. Tell me, if you were to guess, which clan would you say our killer belongs to? I mean, it's probably gonna be the Tremere. But they threw in Thin Bloods. Said the blood speaks. Wait, aren't the Tremere known as blood sorcerers? This is probably some fucked up ritual of theirs. The Warlocks do tend to get creepy at times, but they're not exactly the Manson family. It's just not their style. Ah, shit, it was probably Malkavian because of the writing. Fuck, I glazed over that. Damn it! I literally just zoomed right over that. I totally, in that moment, was thinking, which one of the vampire clans would do it quietly? That's what I was thinking, and I was like, who could do it the most quietly? And I was like, obviously the Tremere over the Malkavian. And then I was like, Thin Bloods, I feel like that just tossed me for a side. But then I sat there and I was like, just as I chose it, I remembered the writing, and I was like, damn it. I might be jumping to conclusions, but my money's on the Thin Bloods. Oh, okay, look, he jumped to the Thin Bloods, so maybe I guess I could have been wrong. He pauses, spits out the mangled remains of a cigar. See, I was thinking Thin Bloods just because it was like the only one that was odd one out right here, you know? But I was like, my conclusion was because they threw it there, maybe they were just purposely trying to throw me off. So then I was like, it has to be Malkavian or them, and then what I told you before, and then I totally spaced it. Shit, looks like we're gonna have to pay Larson a visit. Larson? The Thin Blood Primogen? No, Larson the bicycle repairman. Of course the Thin Blood fucking Primogen. Not sure if he knows who the killer is, but he could probably make an educated guess. In any case, we'll be doing him a favor. If it turns out one of his is violating the Masquerade, it will put him in a hell of an awkward position. And I mean shitting upside down awkward. It's the kind of weakness the other Primogen would love to exploit. His position in the council is as bad as it is. He pauses for a moment and mumbles to himself, but it's too quiet for you to make out. Finally, he lights up a fresh cigar. He takes a puff and lets the smoke escape through his crooked smile. Alright, kid, let's get this over with. Compared to the industrial ugliness of Red Hook, Sterling Place is quite a change of scenery. The heavenly, gentrified, and pleasantly dull residential area emanates the sort of peaceful apathy that rich hipsters scoff at and blue-collar workers dream of. All of a sudden, the Nosferatu stops. It almost seems like he was taking a deep breath, steeling himself for things to come. This is the place. With that, he points to a surprisingly nice-looking two-story house. The place is almost completely dark. Almost. You notice a dim light shining through the curtains of an upper-story window. It's probably safe to assume that the head of the family is working late, especially if the head of the family happens to be a vampire. Okay, kid? We gotta be gentle about this. I'm talking velvet gloves, soft cushions. You rang, my lord gentle. We need to get Larson out of here without making a fuss or letting his family see us. If we blow this, he'll shut down like a speakeasy on a raid night. Trust me, I know. Okay, so what's the plan? Tell you what, how about you take the lead on this one? I'm curious to see how you handle it. You take a step back and look around the area. Lit up window seems like a safe bet. Now it's just a matter of getting Larson's attention. His and no one else's. As you're trying to come up with a viable strategy, you are suddenly startled by a loud noise. It takes you a second to identify the sound as a dog's barking. It doesn't take you long to figure out where it came from, as a bearded man leading a Rottweiler on a leash comes into view. Feel like I could throw a rock at the window. Okay, I'm just gonna throw a rock. You kneel down, pick a rock off the lawn, one small enough to not break glass, but big enough to get someone's attention. Deftly, you chuck the rock at the window. It bounces off the glass with a quiet but audible thunk. Moments pass in silence, making you think no one got your message. Just as you start to look for another rock, you hear the window slide open. A very unassuming and slightly unshaven man in a turtleneck appears at the window. As soon as he notices you, his expression sours, like he just smelled something rotten. He dresses your Nosferatu partner in what could only be described as a very loud and very angry whisper. Get the fuck off my lawn, D'Angelo. You know goddamn better than to show your ugly mug around here. You glance over to D'Angelo. He looks somewhat embarrassed, scratching the back of his neck, clearly trying to find the right angle to play this. Get your ass down here before we get really loud. Larson pierces you with his gaze. You can almost picture a fuse sticking out of his head, slowly burning away to an inevitable explosion. Luckily, he manages to put it out. Stay where you are. You wait out in the lawn, listening to Larson quietly making his way downstairs. Before long, he appears on the porch, locking the front door behind him. He motions at you to follow him off to the side of the house. There he turns towards you. What do you want? It's about the Red Hook murders. We think one of yours is responsible. Bullshit. A Duskborn's got enough trouble just staying alive out here. What could possibly make them openly violate the Masquerade? Desperation? The killer's been leaving messages. Whoever they are, I think they know something. Something they can't share with just anyone. I know it seems far-fetched, but it's the only way this puzzle fits together. Nah, I don't buy it. You're reaching. Try to find a scapegoat. Get in your boss's good graces. Word gets around, D'Angelo. You think I don't know who you're working for? Then help us clear your people's name. What have you got to lose? Everything. I've been a thorn in the Council's side for a while now. This is just the excuse they'd need to get rid of me. What if it turns out one of yours did it, and you sat on your hands to protect him? You think the Council won't jump on that? He looks off into the darkness, pondering his options. He lets out a heavy sigh. Look, I'll ask around, consult my sources. If it turns out one of my own is responsible, they'll face justice. In the meantime, keep your deductions to yourself. I have enough trouble as it is. Deal! Good. Now if you'll excuse me, I have to get back to my family. And with that, Larson retreats to the elusive safety of his home. You decide it's best to move along. You walk a couple blocks in utter silence. Even D'Angelo's mumbling seems to have taken a backseat. Oddly enough, you find his newfound reticence somewhat unnerving. Finally, the Nosferatu stops and turns towards you. Hell of a night! I don't know about you, kid, but I sure could use a drink. Something warm in a tall, sweaty glass. But first, let me tally your score. Let's see now. You did make a good first impression. I like someone who can talk themselves out of a tight spot. Talking's cheap, bullets not so much. You held your own at the crime scene. Nothing I hadn't figured out on my own, but hey, we can't all be professionals. Finally, when the situation called for stability, you managed to avoid unwanted attention. Discretion is what separates a private dick from just any old dick. All in all, you did fine. Not fine, but not bad for your first case. Don't let it get to your head. I'll be in touch. Let you know if I hear from Larson. Be ready to meet me at the office. He starts to walk away, but suddenly stops and turns back toward you. And bring a notepad. Every good assistant should have one. Okay, let's see if we can get to Tamika before we end this episode. You come right back to your haven after a long night out. Right before you open the door, you notice something strange. The sounds of televisions are on coming from your apartment. Mad Men, if you're not mistaken. You open the door and carefully peek in. A young, disheveled woman is curled up on your sofa. She has a blanket pulled on top of her and seems very comfortable. Next to her lies an obviously unconscious, preppy woman. It's my stalker! I finally met them! Oh, you're home! The woman reaches for the remote and puts Madman on pause. You were home, so I started without you. You know, Netflix and chill. Join me, there's space on the sofa. I brought us a snack. You didn't enjoy the one I gave you before, but this is a different type. The woman points lazily to the unconscious girl. Oh, I forgot. My name is Adelaide. Adelaide Davis. I like you a lot. Help yourself and settle in. Adelaide makes space on sofa as you sit down between her and the unconscious mortal. You lean to drink from the girl as Adelaide uses the remote to turn Madman back on. The girl moans sleepily as you drink from her, but doesn't wake. Her blood tastes pleasant and unhurried, a far cry from the adrenaline of the blood you get by hunting a victim who knows you're coming. As you lick the girl's wound closed and sit back on the sofa, Adelaide lies down and rests her head in your lap. Isn't this nice? Can I kiss you? Aren't we moving fast here? But then again... let's see. I wonder if I can pursue a romantic relationship with my stalker. That sounds unique. I'm gonna go for it. I wonder if anybody else has done this. Can I kiss you? Adelaide turns to look up at you and smiles. She climbs on top of you, straddling you. She kisses your face, your nose, and finally on the mouth. There's an intensity to Adelaide, a hunger that makes you forget yourself. You may be dead, but as she holds your face in her hands, you remember what it was to live, if only for a second. The door to your apartment opens, your mind is elsewhere, and you react slowly. Sophie strides into your living room. She has a key to your haven and never bothers to knock, of course. Uh-oh! You're shacking up with Adelaide Davis, the scourge of Snug Harbor in the flesh. This is a new low for you, fledgling. I didn't know who she was! I'm embarrassed for you, really. Perhaps I should not be surprised. Adelaide, you better go. Adelaide glances at Sophie and gives you a quick kiss on the cheek. Sophie sighs. Adelaide leaves the room, making sure to give as wide a berth to Sophie as possible. Sophie waits for the door of the apartment to close before she speaks. The Clan of the Moon. Did I not advise caution when dealing with them? I don't remember who the Clan of the Moon is! As you watch, Sophie makes a phone call. 10 minutes later, 2 of her servants arrive to remove the unconscious girl sprawled on your sofa. You clearly need my help. It won't happen tonight, but let me see if I can resolve your stalker problem for real. You'll have to wonder what Sophie meant by that as she leaves your haven. Wait, no, that's Adelaide. Damn it! Adelaide's still not here? Oh, they're the lunatics. I kind of forgot who they were. I think we have let's see, new, unread. Here we go. Clan of the Moon, Clan of the Moon. Let's take a little bit of a glance at this, see what we have it here. Clan of the Moon. Wait, where are they? Is it the Malkavian? Is the Clan of the Moon the Malkavians? Is that what you mean? Or does it actually have a separate thing in here? Oh, okay, it's the Malkavians, okay. Oh, it's just oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Matthew, do you happen to know how long this part 3 will be? Because I want to do it, but at the same time, if it's going to be too long, then I'm going to leave it for the next part. I mean, no spoilers, of course, but if you do know how long this part is, like if it's like 10, 20 minutes, I'll be fine with doing it now. But if it's longer than that, I'm going to leave it for the next part. Ah, water. Amazing. No clue. Okay, so we're just gonna leave it here for now then. So for everybody watching... Oh, I pressed both buttons at the same time. There we go. So for everybody watching, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, or follow, depending on the platform you're watching this on. Twitch, YouTube, Mixer. I mean, you could be watching on Facebook as well. And then, if you want to go that one extra step farther, you could join the Discord link below so you can talk to me off hours, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. And then you can also decide to optionally donate or become a Patreon member, and you will be able to be placed... Oh yeah, I was actually putting right here in the description, and then get your own Patreon role in the Discord. Thank you guys for stopping by. Thank you, Matthew, and everybody else who decided to hang out live, and those of you afterwards. And I'll catch you guys on my next stream either later tonight or tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to continue to the next part of my main series, Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.